up, YouTube? It is early in the morning. I just pulled, well, I didn't just pull this guy out of the heat oven, but it was kind of pretty, so I figured I'd show it to you. Pretty. And that's actually ready to go in for temper, so we're gonna do that right now. It's relatively hot in there. But I have what I like to call blacksmith hands. And they are very non-sensitive to heat. I mean, so ridiculously non-sensitive to heat. I like pull things out of boiling water with my bare hands. Blows my wife's mind. Thinking, how can you do that? That's not really what my wife sounds like. Well, what it sounds like to me. Terrible. Hope she doesn't watch this video. Something I've always appreciated about SM100. Most steels like a 2x2 temper, so 2 hours. Pull it out, let it air cool, put it back in for 2 more hours. SM100 is a straight 4-hour temper. It's not really a temper, it's more like a stress relief. But it's not really like steel. I try and explain this to people all the time that it's not steel. And people always call it steel, and I'm like, it's not steel! There's nothing about it that is like steel. Let's see. So I've attempted to make this video several times, and always right at the end, my phone decides it's gonna just fuck off and die. Love that. Because someone asked me to do a shop tour, and I figured, yeah, I could do that. So I'm gonna try and do it really fast. Office, my desk, full of knife designs. Mark's desk, significantly neater. And then we have outside in the shop itself, we have my shitty air compressor that I despise. Let's turn this light off. Gotta conserve energy here. That is the theoretical shipping department, although I never actually stand there and package things. Those are stuff for the packaging for the Pretiums. That is the dining area. That's a very important room. Very important. Some great ideas happen there. That is a computer that has the CAD program on it, where I design things on CAD. This will be theoretically... Focus. Do it. Do it now. Do it. There you go. That's where I'm going to do final assembly on Pretiums. That's why there's those bins full of bits and pieces there. A little workout bench. Sometimes you got to throw some weight around. Punching bag. Sometimes you got to beat some shit instead of break things like cameras and stuff. That's a power supply that I use for anodization. You can see a little box of TSP there. I generally mix up a brand new bunch of TSP when I do ano. And I use filtered water. Distilled water is also preferable, because you don't want the stuff that's in tap water contaminating your ano solution. There's a bunch of Kydex working stuff. Right, heat gun, a little toaster oven, also makes very nice toast. A tumbler, a jar full of ceramic media in which I shake the shit out of things to get a really rugged looking stone wash. Obviously, we've seen the heat treat oven. Quench plates, a barrel full of peanut oil, one of my favorite quenching solutions. Smells like French fries. It's nice. That is a computer that runs the CNC. Don't ask me why it's out here. It was Mark's idea. I didn't want to put it out here, but he said we had to. It's kind of annoying. Sometimes you gotta run back and forth. But, yeah, whatever. Here in the actual, this is where the magic happens. There's the CNC. There's my computer. There's a shelf full of materials. There's the bench that has all the Pretiums on it currently. There's a group that I'm getting ready to rock and roll on. There's some that are already being rock and rolled on. And there's a, oh, look at this. This is a fun shot. Whammo! That is essentially the first 40. Obviously, I have more to make. 60 more, to be precise. There's a bunch of blades that I got to profile out pretty quick. There's the Will Moon Mark 6 in pieces. Because the blade is actually in the bead blasting cabinet because it is about to get blasted. This is my working bench, which is generally full of screws and parts at all times. I try to keep it clean, but it never works out. Yeah, maybe there's some chaos in my head. But I know where everything is on it, so that's really all that matters. Those guys actually, basically I gotta drill some holes for pocket clips, and then they are scales and contour a little bit of the scales, and they're ready for bead blast and tumble. And the blades are all ready to be ground. The lock's already fitted up on them with a rough fit, because I gotta allow for expansion and contraction during heat treat. The blade for that knife is getting ready to be bead blasted. I'm actually gonna do the scales for this knife, and then it is going to get blasted. That is the most dangerous piece of equipment in this shop. Unequivocally, it likes to grab things and throw it at about 100 miles an hour. The apprentice can tell you about that. He's done it before. Look, there's actually the chunk out of the wheel where he caught the edge of one knife, spun it right into the table, boom, right there, snapped the tip off the knife, scared the shit out of himself. It's dangerous, and actually it needs to move from this thing. It should be sitting on a pedestal all by itself, because it's just that important. No, because it's a little safer that way. That's an array of belts. That is a very small grinder. I used to grind knives on that, people, don't laugh. That is my newer grinder, KMG, variable speed. I like it a lot. It has had the platen replaced on it. This is actually D2. It comes with a mild steel platen. Yeah, it wears out pretty quick. You get interesting little grooves in it. This one's actually probably getting about ready to get flipped over. It's got a nice little groove going on in here where it's been used to contour a lot of titanium. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not perfectly flat. It's actually, you would never actually know. And they'll get like recontoured and stuff anyway. If you work with metal and you don't have a Scotch-Brite wheel, I got this advice from John Grimswell, then you're missing out. Scotch-Brite wheel is magic. It is pure magic. I don't know how I ever made knives without it. How I ever contoured titanium without it. It's awesome. Everybody needs a wire wheel, so you can do a little orange peel texturing, as well as deburring, things like that. Titanium gets a little burry. I use this thing to surface grind stuff, especially to remove can off of PM steels. That way I don't have to do it by hand. It's nice. Here's a nasty little work area. That's what I use my vise for. It holds a piece of wood that stuff gets clamped to. I cut a lot of stuff with that. It is a magic tool. And a Dremel too. I use a lot of Dremel. How else are you supposed to carve titanium? Huh? I asked you. And I actually just buy cheap ones now. I used to buy like the nice expensive one, but they have a certain lifespan and then they die. So yeah, there's a dead one in there. I usually have at least 2 or 3 hanging around. Drill press number 1, all it does is countersink. Drill press number 2, I actually use that one probably the most. And look at drill bits everywhere. Need lots of drill bits. Little mill. It's actually a really fantastically versatile little mill. Basically every custom knife I make, the parts that are milled out got milled on that. When I do milled pocket clips, they get milled on that. I've actually used it to do various textures and stuff too on things. It's very versatile. I like that little guy. Oddly powerful. This is the newer of the drill presses, and I really haven't used it all that much, but I will. I'm actually going to, because it has a depth gauge, that I think, and lasers. You gotta have lasers on a friggin' drill press because you clearly cannot see where the bit is going. Oh god, the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Lasers on a drill press. If you think about it enough, you'll see why it's stupid to have lasers on a drill press, and they're horribly inaccurate as well. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. But it's a respectable drill press. It's nice. It's got low walkout. Oh, my light works too. Look at that. Who knew? B-Blast cabinet, Harbor Freight Special. It's actually pretty good. I have no complaints about it. So, it gets used a lot. You. Don't buy this drill. Don't buy this bandsaw. It sucks. Worst bandsaw ever. Hate it. Despise it. But it comes in handy sometimes. Some other things that are around here. Welder. It gets used to weld shit together. Actually, some of the metal things here, they were welded to the work table. This table actually has armor plate is the surface of it, and it's very difficult to drill through. So yeah, most stuff just gotta just weld shit to it. That is my anvil from back in the days when I used to actually forge things. It's alright. It's alright. Nothing to write home about. And that, in a nutshell, is the Ferrum Forge Works knife workshop. Shop. And look how fast I did that. I did that in under 15 minutes. That is impressive. I have impressed myself with the speed of this video. So I'm not going to tempt fate. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off now that you've seen a lot. I've had people ask me to discuss how I actually make knives, like the steps and processes. And that's a complicated process, and you got to go like deep in my brain for that, and that could be really frightening for some people. Yeah, because if we're gonna talk about how I actually make a knife, you're gonna get ridiculous amounts of sciencey shit involved in there. Because I can't talk about making a knife without talking about steel and steel properties, heat treatment. Because every steel is a slightly different little beast, and they have different characteristics to work with, to cut, to drill, to mill, to finish, to heat treat. So everything's got its quirks. Titanium is its own special beast. Yeah, little tricks I've learned over the years to work with these things, and to work with them with minimal machinery. I mean, before I had a CNC, it was all hand stuff. So it can be done. You can make very good knives without a CNC and without water jet, contrary to what certain individuals have said on YouTube. Medford. Sometimes that man, I wonder what he thinks about. Anyway, I think that's about enough. So I'll yak at you later, YouTube. See ya.